Well, well, well. Did you know that there is a new line of refrigerators out that the water they don't have any ice. If they do have ice, I haven't found it on this contraption. They may have ice in the freezer part drawer down below. I have not opened the freezer part drawer down below. But I want to say that I saw someone getting ice out. So there is a possibility that there is ice in the freezer drawer down below, which kind of sounds like a Steven Seagal sequel. But I know this for a fact. The water, to dispense the water, it's no longer on the outside of the refrigerators. It's on the inside. It's on the left, whatever you call it, the left door. Yeah, they're like French doors. So on the left French door, you open it up, there is a button, and you press it, and it dispels the water for you. And this goes against everything that I was taught. This goes against everything that I learned growing up. It doesn't feel right. It feels bad because I was raised to not leave the refrigerator doors open, or door at that time. There was no fancy French door refrigerators when I was growing up. It was a single door, damn it. And I was told not to leave it open because it will let the cold air go out, and that it has to, then it would take energy and electricity to cool it back down. And that could get expensive. But now, they've just thrown caution to the wind. They don't give a damn anymore. You have to open the door and then press the button and fill your cup. And if your cup's big, it's going to be open for a while because the water is not coming out fast. I think they're in cahoots. I think they're in cahoots with the electricity companies across this country. I think they have contracts with them all. I'm talking the OPPDs. I'm talking about the little power companies in towns that you've never heard of, like the one that I live in, Butler County Power, in cahoots. They have to be. Why would they do this? It doesn't feel right. I feel dirty when I'm getting my water now. I just feel like a dirty, naughty, bad boy when I'm getting my water. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So, you've probably heard the news. You've probably heard the news because you live on Earth, but the unaging one, the unaging, handsome one with the great hair has died. Robert Redford. Great name. Just a great Robert Redford. Sounds like the name of a mighty tree. And he's dead. His thick head of hair and his pleasant and symmetrical wrinkles on his face led us to believe he would live forever. But this is simply not the case. He died this morning at his home in Sundance, Utah. Redford of Sundance. And, yeah. He's, you wouldn't think. I didn't even know. I knew he was older. I didn't know he was 89. I mean, the last time I remember seeing him on screen and something that I watched not too long ago was Avengers Endgame. I did the math. What I did was, when you do math, what you want to do is you want to see what year the movie came out, which was 2019, and then you want to take his age that he is now, that he just passed away out, and you want to subtract that, it's 225. Follow me here. It's 2025. So 2025 to 2019, that's 6 years. So then you take 89 minus 6, 83. I know it's hard to believe that math was a challenge for me in school and that I had to take a math night school class in order to graduate high school. I know that's blowing your mind, considering I am so good with numbers, as you can tell right now. But yeah, he was 83 in Avengers Endgame, and I gotta say, he looks 60. I've never admired an 83-year-old man's hair before, and I was like, that's a good thick head of hair. That's a good hairstyle. I immediately hit pause. I went in, started blow drying my hair, put highlights in it so it just looked like a river birch, and I couldn't pull it off. He had better hair at me at 83 for that particular style. So I've never admired an 83-year-old man's hair before, and I promise you this, I never will again. Can't think of another person who is 83, and I'm like, that's a good head of hair. I brought, I took a picture of it on screen, took it to my hairstylist, and I said, make my hair grow like this. Put chemicals on it. Put herbs, put cinnamon and spice, and give me that hair. Now, if that was a wig, I will die. I cannot be lied to like that. I won't handle it well. I will sob and I will cry. So that's it. They don't have, when I read this news not too long ago, they didn't have, they didn't say what he died of, but guessing that he's 89, his body and his organs shut down, even though that weirdo that runs China recently said on a hot mic to Putin that at 70 you're still a child, they're going to harvest the organs and live forever. I'm going to go with no. No, you're not even going to live to 150. Even if with all the harvested organs that you put in your body, God, you'll just be cut up. You'll have scars everywhere. You'll be a mutant. And then the biggest organ on your body is your skin. What are you going to do? Harvest that organ and then wear the skin like you're Leatherface? Like this is the Chainsaw China Massacre? Freaking weirdo. Just accept the fact that you are a mere mortal man and that you are going to die. Everyone is going to die. Everyone is going to age. Our skin slowly melts off our bodies, except for Robert Redford's on his face. Give me some of that skin. Give me his skin. That's right. I'm going to go to Utah and I'm going to collect. It's for science. It's for research. I thought that I would read some funny news stories since, the world is on fire and we're on some sort of trajectory for public assassinations across the board. Who knows? It's literally on fire. But in other places in the world, there are some news stories that are just weird, hilarious, and fun to read. So I'm going to go over some of those. And then yesterday I did say that I would go over and cover, let's see here. Let's check this piece of paper here. That I would kind of go into the phases. How did it not? Where is all my paper? Where are all my things? I printed something off, dude. It printed it so small. Like, who reads this small? I need a magnifying glass. So, I'm going to go over... kind of like, I don't know, the phases of church history about how It was basically martyrdom was a badge of honor, and don't fight back and just preach the gospel and then die, and then how the trajectory led to let's kill them all. Let's kill everyone in the name of Jesus. Okay, but let's first do some hilarious news coming to you from the Shepherd Express. This is something that I do just for my own pleasure, is look up weird and funny stories, because it makes me laugh. Like this one right here. On September 2nd in Cranford, New Jersey, there was a dude named Will Thilly. Okay, he went to a town hall meeting, and he went to ask questions about recent property tax hike. Okay, but before he uttered a single word, he performed a wordless robot dance without music and spun on the floor. Then he asked how everyone's weekend was. And then he went in and asked some questions about taxes, school expenses, gathered his papers, and then moonwalked back to his seat. And this legend is he's running, or he's a candidate for the Cranford Township Committee. And he wants to bring a friendly, stress-free way of the committee with dealing with the public on his website. Oh, he has a website. Check it out. Will Thilly. Legend. A wordless robot dance? What more do you want out of life? I mean, that's a guy who's just loving life, even though the earth is on fire. All right, here's just an unfortunate thing. Dude in Zong, we're going to try to do this. Zongudak. I don't know. The words, I just feel like some ancient words, who knows? Like maybe they were just tired. They were just like Zongudak, like they put much thought into them. I don't know. What the hell is that word? It's in Turkey. And the New York Post reported, so this dude builds a $1 million 85-foot yacht. He slips it into the water, dude. It just sinks immediately and just goes to the bottom of the ocean. I mean, that right there. Could you even imagine how bad that would suck? Just imagine that dude screaming from the shore. There's nothing you can do to stop the $1 million boat from sinking. All you can do is just stand on the dock and go, no. Like, no one's stopping that. It's just going to the floor of the ocean. So this is Clearwater, Florida. Of course, this happened in Florida. There's a guy, Rodney Platty. He's 46, okay? He's working at a store. This is from the Smoking Gun, all right? He's working at a store. And his job is to wear an inflatable puppy costume and stand outside the store to lure in pet lovers. All right, he's a registered sex offender. Did I mention that? Okay, so a registered sex offender in Clearwater, Florida, is in an inflatable puppy costume, and he is standing outside to lure in pet lovers. Okay. What kind of lovers? People that love pets or people that love pets? You know, who knows? We got a pervert on our hands. So on August 29th, Platty and the store owner, they got into it with several juveniles riding on bicycles. And I want to know, were they the good old-fashioned? Were they the good old-fashioned bicycles where you have to use your feet and they have pedals and you pedal them and you have to exercise and use cardiovascular strength? Or were they motorized? And were these children obese and just high on sugar? So it wasn't their first beef with the kids, dude. These kids come by all the time and they just rile up this sex offender. And so in this inflatable puppy costume, the the dude, Rodney, he approached one of his victims from behind and placed him in a chokehold and choked him out. The victim told police he couldn't breathe for a brief period. And so he was arrested for battery and strangulation and ordered to have no contact with the victim. He has posted his $10,000 bond. So he's in an inflatable puppy costume, is just choking out a child. Florida, it's just wild, man. It's wild down there. This guy screwed up, man. This guy didn't get away, all right? This dude, Alec Bogus, he's 33. Illuminati confirmed. And he is from the place of my birth, Aurora, Colorado. And, yeah, so he tried to escape from the police on August 26th, the day after my birthday, when he was approached at the Indian Hot Springs Resort in Idaho Springs, Colorado. Been there multiple times. Fantastic place to get your spring on. And so he had an outstanding felony warrant from Douglas County and was exiting the mud bath, only wearing a Speedo, when officers arrived. He ran up a wooded mountainside and tried to hide in a shed, but he was recovered a short time later, still covered in mud. So this guy is a fool because you're covered in mud, dude. Why are you hiding in a shed? You hide in the dirt, and you lay either like you stand up and press your body against a dirt wall or a cliff, or you lay on the ground if there isn't one, and then you blend in, okay? Try watching Rambo 2. Rambo 2 does it when he is hunting soldiers in the jungles of Thailand. He covers himself in mud, and then he presses himself against a dirt mud wall, and then all of a sudden you see his eyes open, and he stabs the soldier. So that's where that guy made his mistake. Not that he should have stabbed the guy. I'm just saying he blend in, dude. You're covered in mud. Wear nothing but undies. You don't hide in a shed. You don't hide in a shed. This lady right here is a legend. Let me tell you. She lives in Germany. She is unnamed. Okay. She has been on sick leave for 16 years, dude. 16 years getting paid her full salary. That is a legend right there, dude. Full salary, not working at all. All right. When the education authority in this town, Rhine-Westphalia, demanded that she take a medical test, she sued them. The audacity, bro. Can you imagine? And the court called her case truly incomprehensible and ruled that the employer had the right to call for the test. And the president of the state's teachers union called her behavior completely I don't even know. Where's the other side of my documentation? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Dun, dun, dun. Willie even Finn. Completely what? Yeah, that's not it. Where are you? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it printed that side of the page. We don't know. Completely what, damn it? This is unbelievable. Is it on this page? I got some pages over here. Nope, this is my tiny print. Oh, yeah, this is going to drive me more crazy than it's going to drive you. All right, well, whatever. She's a legend. 16 years, full salary. She's had a cold. So that is it. And then there is a mystery man. See, this is what we need more of in life. Oh, we'll save that one we'll save the legendary one for last. We got one right here about Nicholas Holes. He's 27. He lives in Harburg, Zwazula, Nada, South Africa. He was camping at Cape Vital Nature Reserve, in St. Lucia, South Africa on August 30th when he got unexpected overnight visitors. You see, he was there with his dad and others for a bachelor party. And after settling in his tent, he woke up to two hyenas, one attacking his face, the other his ankle. And he said he fought them off by attacking the eyes and forcing his hand down the throat of the other. So he was jabbing his eyes in one and shoving his hand all the way down the throat of the other. I mean, this guy is a legend. Could you imagine, like, the hyena's teeth? Just those bacteria-filled freaking daggers. I mean, look at a hyena, and he didn't care. He shoved his hand down the throat. Took the other one's eyes. Probably made a necklace out of them, dried them out. Made some lockets. And, the doctor said that his full recovery would take about a month. And he said he's doing a lot better. Hell of a way to be woken up in the middle of the night. Hell of a way. All right, so this mystery thing, this is also a Colorado story. So over Labor Day, some hikers hiked up Huron Peak in Colorado, and when they reached the summit of the 14,000-foot plus mountain, seated there, just sitting there, waiting for anyone really, in a camping chair, there was a man sitting in a camping chair, wearing an ice cream cone costume and sunglasses with a fake mustache. He refused to give his name, and he had hauled up ice cream sandwiches in a pack with dry ice. One of the hikers that told of this great story called him legendary. Legendary. Do you get it? Do you see what he's calling him? Legend? Dairy. D-A-I-R-Y. Dairy. Milk. Ice cream. Boom. I mean, come on. What more do you want? I mean, that's why we live, bro. That's why we're alive. That's why we keep getting up in the morning. It's for stuff like this. All right? And he just gave him some ice cream, and the one dude that came up with the great play on words, Blaine Griffin, he then saw the man. All of a sudden, he was just zooming down the mountain, just disappearing in his costume into the tree line. I mean, that's what life's about. That's what more people need to do. More people need to be like that. And then the world wouldn't be so hateful as it is. All right, so that was fun. That was a fun little break here, and then we can go over some of this, mainly because I just find it fascinating. So Jesus in the apostolic church, okay, the Christians were the persecuted minority. There's the teaching, don't fight back, martyrdom equals badge of honor. Rome kills you, you sing hymns on the way to the lions, that's your witness. They had no power, no army, and no chance, and plus Jesus literally said, blessed are the persecuted. Because some of these people around these times, so 2nd century, Justin Martyr, he wrote to the Roman emperor that Christians don't retaliate. We who formerly delighted in slaughter of one another do not only not make war upon our enemies, but in order not to lie and deceive our examiners, willingly die confessing Christ. Then we have Tertullian, he's 2nd, 3rd century. The Christian does not hurt even his enemy, for when we are slain, we conquer. When we are defamed, we are vindicated. The more often we are mown down by you, the more in number we grow. The blood of Christians is seed. Origen, Origen, he's 3rd century, argued Christians don't pick up arms. We no longer take up swords against nations, nor do we learn war anymore, having become sons of peace through Jesus. And then we got Lactantius. He's 3rd and 4th century. It's not permitted for a just man to shed blood, for when God forbids killing, he not only prohibits violence, but he warns us against carrying out what is even considered lawful among men. And then, we got the phase 1, we just covered that. And then that was the 1st century. Okay. This small print. The 2nd phase, the church, fathers, and martyrdom culture. So 2nd and 3rd century, fathers like Tertullian, Origen, Justin Martyr said, "We don't fight, even if it kills us. The blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church. The more Rome killed, the more Christianity grew. Violence was the world's way. Suffering without retaliation was the Christian way." Why? They were still powerless. Nonviolence wasn't just obedience to Christ. It was a survival strategy. All right. Phase 3, Constantine and Christendom. So 4th century, Constantine legalizes Christianity in 313 AD. Suddenly, the persecuted minority becomes aligned with the empire. Now Christians do have armies, political power, and influence. Question shifts. Not how do I endure persecution, but can I, as a Christian soldier or emperor, fight justly? And then Saint Augustine comes along, 5th century. He invents the just war theory. Violence may be used if declared by a legitimate authority, not just vigilantes, for a just cause, defending the innocent, restoring order, with right intention, not revenge, but love for the neighbor. He's trying to square Jesus' commands with Christian running an empire. So why would they do this? Power, once you've got soldiers in land, turn the other cheek, is hard to enforce on a battlefield. And this is kind of how there's like 2 sides of the law of God, like one for individuals in our heart, and then the other one for governments and ruling authority, which governments are basically put in place to suppress sin and punish evildoers. And that's pretty much what they're supposed to do. And then what happens is everything gets flipped usually throughout history. It's a pattern, gets flipped on their head, and then, good starts becoming called evil and evil good, and then you have an entire mess. And I think the whole thing, like Rome is falling around this point, and I've always found it interesting that Constantine then decides, they decide that to become a Christian state, Catholicism is born and all this, and then Rome, the empire, pretty much dissolves. But does it really? No, it kind of just morphs into Rome as an empire, but as an empire of a church. So it's like consolidated into a church. So instead of an emperor, you now have a pope. Because throughout history, like a lot of times, like, what is his name? Something the Conqueror. Henry? That's not his name. I was just reading about this recently. There's a show about it. How do I miss the name? I just have the Conqueror. Let's do a thing. What is the guy from history's name, and then it says the Conqueror? I mean, they could do it. The Conqueror. All right. Yeah, so William the Conqueror. 1028, 1087, the Duke of Normandy, who became King of England. I believe he had to get permission from the Pope in order to go to war and become the king, which was his, he was the rightful heir, but he couldn't just do it. Did William the Conqueror, oh, you son of a gun, did William the Conqueror have to get permission from the Pope to go to war? I have to make sure. Yeah, so he sought the papal approval before invading England in 1066. So William argued that Edward the Confessor, the previous king of England, had promised him the throne. And, to strengthen his case, he appealed to the Pope Alexander II in Rome. The Pope agreed with William's claim and even sent him the papal banner, a flag blessed by the church, to carry into battle. Interesting. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? So it's like, kind of still just acting like an emperor in an empire. And then, not only that, they just spread out and put Catholic churches on every continent of this entire country and sent everyone out. I mean, like where I live in a small town, 50 people. There's a Catholic church across the street from me that's just doing just great. I don't know who's paying for it. I mean, Rome, obviously. Then, a few miles down the road, another Catholic church. A few miles down the road, another Catholic. From every direction. Every direction. And right now, they're all having duck dinners. Shame on them for killing the ducks. I say that because I have ducks. And I just care about them. How about that? So, yeah. That's kind of my... theory. So, like, did the empire ever really dissolve? I mean, take a look at the Vatican City and the Pope and all of their power. I'm going to go with, no, it did not. So anyways, and then we got phase 4, which is non-retaliation gone. Now it's take up the cross, march to Jerusalem, Pope Urban II, he was like, God wills it, fight equals holy, dying in battle means you guaranteed go to heaven. Sounds a little Islamic, don't you think? And killing infidels also became framed as serving Christ, not betraying him. So, seems like there was a lot of power and land grabs dressed up as theology. I haven't read a ton about this period, so I can't even speak on the Crusades and right and wrong and the real motivations or anything. I've read a lot of stuff, but not on that. But I will, I think. I'm going to start now. I promise. I'm going to promise to you. Promise to myself. I'm going to read about the Crusades. Why am I talking like this? No one knows. All right, so that is phase 4. I think that's it. Medieval era, 11th to 13th century. Why do I say that? I don't think anything else printed, and I don't remember if there was an extra phase or not. And I can't. I don't know what my opinions on this are. I think it's definitely different. I mean, it's completely different for government bodies and institutions and how they conduct killings and wars. And it's different from us, plebs, us peasants, the herd, the masses, the unwashed. These are what they call us. The elites and the people that run things. So, it's different. But I would say that the best thing for just the average layperson like you and I is if you do have a faith in God, if you do have a faith in Christ for the forgiveness of your sins because he died the death that you should have died on that cross, and you know that you're a sinful person and you repent and you're going to preach that, then I say preach it. And those that try to kill you, if people try to kill you or attack you, you don't kill them first. You die. You let them kill you. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I think on that subject topic, I have no idea. Perspective, you get it. You get what I'm saying. So, all right. Well, that is it for today, man. That is it. Be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Subscribe to the streaming platform that you're listening to the show of your choice. Subscribe to YouTube just for fun. And, have a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful day. We'll be back tomorrow. Good day.